What's up YouTube, Tactical Swede here with another edition of Swede's Peeves. Today, I'm stealing a line from Allen Iverson. We're talking about practice. Let's get in it. Alright, so the idea for this video came about from a conversation that I had with a gentleman at the range. I was talking about how I don't usually go to organized ranges all that often because most of them don't allow me to do the things that I want to do, you know, shooting on the move or drawing from concealment. And he had brought up that, I forget how long he'd been carrying for, but it was many years. He carried every day, and he had never practiced drawing from concealment. To his credit, he did go to the range very often. He shot his weapon. He was very proficient at shooting his weapon, but he had never practiced that draw piece. And kind of got talking about it and decided that that's probably a pretty important thing that he should be practicing. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I've said before in other videos, you know, train like you fight. Your body, your mind is going to default in a real life situation. Your body's going to default to whatever level of training you've mastered. So while the marksmanship piece is important, it's not the whole picture. And if you ever do have to draw your weapon and you've never practiced it, you're putting yourself further behind the power curve. I say further because the person attacking you, they know what they're going to do. You are then having to react to their actions. And reactive is always going to be slower than proactive. You know, that attacker is being proactive. He knows what he's going to do. He's going to attack you. You then have to react to it quickly enough to stop his actions. And if you don't practice the whole piece, which includes, you know, first of all, recognizing the threat, making the decision that you need to draw your weapon in self-defense, drawing your weapon, getting it on target, and firing before he can do what he's going to do. If you don't practice that stuff, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. A lot of people get this false sense of security that just because they're carrying a weapon, that makes them safe. But in reality, it's the training, you know, the having the muscle memory down to do all these things that makes you safer. If you don't practice these things, you're really not any safer than if you're not carrying. You're relying on luck, really, is what you're doing. So, you know, all these people that go out to the range and shoot, great. You know, as I said, marksmanship is important. If you can't hit what you're shooting at, the draw doesn't really matter. But even worse than that is, I'll call a buddy of mine out from years back. He admitted to me that, you know, he turned 21, he went out and he bought his first handgun. And he carried that weapon for, I want to say it was 3 or 4 years. Had never fired that weapon. Didn't take it to the range, never shot a single round with it. So he's carrying this around every day and he feels like he's safe because he's got a gun. But the fact of the matter is, if somebody were to attack him, not only has he never practiced drawing, but he's never practiced shooting. So he probably wouldn't even be able to hit what he's shooting at, let alone, you know, get it out and on target and hit. So it's important to practice all of these pieces in order to put yourself in a situation where you're going to stand a chance. As I've said before, go do some force-on-force training and just see how much time you don't have. I always put it that way. Not how much time you have, how much time you don't have in a self-defense scenario. It's not a lot of time to make the decision to pull your weapon out and get it on target and fire. It's not a lot of time. So please, I implore you guys, practice, practice, practice. Train like you fight. Try to do all these things. As I said, I know a lot of ranges don't allow you to draw from the holster and shoot, but that's something you can practice in the comfort of your own home with, you know, with obviously a safe weapon. But stand in front of the TV, stand in front of a mirror. Practice that draw stroke. Practice all the little things that catch people, you know, off guard sometimes. Getting your clothing out of the way. You see a lot of people when they start practicing stuff, they'll get hung up on their clothes. So it's a piece that you don't think about a lot, but you have to practice it. to get it down. Get that clothing out of the way, get a good handle on the weapon, pull it out, high ready, get it on target. So practice it in little steps like that. You know, again, first practice getting the clothing out of the way and getting your hand on it until you get that down. Just keep doing it. Then draw up to high ready. Again, draw to high ready. And then once you get that piece down, then start presenting it on target. And then add the final, get it on target, get your finger on the trigger and squeeze. Then, when you go to the range that, you know, where they don't allow you to draw from the holster, you can then get, you know, start from high ready and put it on target and fire. And you're linking those two pieces. Even though you're not doing the whole motion all at once, you're linking the two pieces that you've practiced. So the draw at home and then presenting from high ready at the range. Obviously the best scenario is to do all of it at once, but if you can't, if the ranges that are around you don't allow it and you don't have any private land to shoot on, do the best you can do to replicate a real life scenario. That's what I'm trying to put out here. So that's all I got today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please, if you like what I'm doing, give me that thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button up there. Stay up to date with any new videos. We're redoing some old ones, making some new ones, and I definitely want to see you stick around. Alright guys, till next time, live life and have fun out there.